Hello everyone, today we'll be learning to find the square root of decimal number by long division method. Let's take a question, that is square root of 10.24. First, let's place it in a long division format. Next is we need to pair. Since there is a decimal place, the pairing is done differently. For the whole number part, it's from right to left, and for the decimal part, it's from left to right. What do I mean by that? That means if I'm going to take the pairing of the whole number part, I start from ones place to the tens place. And if I pair for the decimal part, I start from 1/10 to 100th. Next is to find a perfect square which is smaller than or equal to 10. I know that 3 times 3 is 9 and it's a perfect square and less than 10. So we are going to take that. We have to add 3 here. Now I need to bring down this pair, that is 24. Before doing that, I need to shift the decimal place. So the decimal place has to be shifted to the quotient, that is up, and 24 is brought down. Now I need to generate a 2-digit number by placing a number at the ones place and multiplying the same number. What do I mean by that? Means I am placing 1 at ones place, so this becomes a 2-digit number, and I have to multiply with 1. So that becomes a 61. Now 61 doesn't match with 124. So let's try placing a 2 at ones place and multiplying by 2. So that gives me 124. So I got my 124. So I'm going to place a 2 here and a 2 here, and that gives me 124. Thus we can say the square root of 10.24 is 3.2. Let's take one more question to understand this. The question that I'm going to go for is square root of 72.25. So again, we place it in a long division format and start pairing. But the rule is for whole number parts, start from ones place and move to the tens place. And for the decimal part, start from the 1/10th place to the 100th place. Now, the number that I have at the whole number part is 72. That means I need to think about a perfect square which is less than 72. And that is 8 times 8, 64. Let's subtract and we get a 8. I need to add the 8 on the left. That gives me 16. I need to bring down 25 as a pair. But before that, I need to shift the decimal place here. So it becomes 25. Now I'll be generating a 3-digit number by placing any number on the ones place and multiplying by that. So that gives me a 324, which is not near to 825. Because there is a 5 in the ones place, let's try putting 5. So I get a 5, and that gives me as 825. Yes, I got it. So we'll be putting a 5 here and a 5 here, and that's 825. So can we say that the answer, or the square root of 72.25 is 8.5? Let's take one more, but this time I'll be going for an odd number. What do I mean by that is I'm going to take a odd place for whole number part and even place for the decimal part. So my question that I'm going to take is 110.25, just to have a understanding of how to pair if I have odd numbers. Now in this case, again I start pairing from ones place for the whole number. So it's ones and tens which is being paired. The 1 in the hundreds place is left alone, and on the decimal part we always start from 1/10 and 100. Now since 1 is at the hundreds place and singled out, so we have to think about a whole number which is nearby, that means less than or equals to 1. We know 1 is a perfect square, so we'll be taking 1 ones are 1, that is 0. I need to add a 1 here, so that gives me 2. I bring down my pair, that is 10. We are going to insert a number here to make a 2-digit number. That will be greater than 20 or equal to 20. And we know that 20 is bigger than 10. That means I need to bring down the second pair. If I have to bring down the second pair, I need to insert a 0 here and a 0 here. One more thing is we need to shift the decimal also. So we'll be shifting the decimal place and then bring down the 25. Since I've inserted 0 in the ones place, I need to add the 0. Now we'll be generating a 3-digit number. So let me insert a 3 and check whether I get 1025. No, I'm going to get a 6025. Since 5 is in the ones place, so let's take multiplying by 5. So I get 1025. So let's take 5 and 5. So we can say that here the square root of 110.25 is 10.5. Let's take one more big number, 6 digits with the decimal place. So the number that I'm going to take here is square root of 1310.44. Let's place it. Since it's more of a even digits, it's easier for us to pair it. But the same rule, we start from the whole part from ones place. So ones and tens are paired and hundreds and thousands place is paired. And in the decimal part, it's from left to right, that is 1/10 and hundreds. Now we take the first two, that is 13. We think about a perfect square which is less than 13. That is 3 times 3, 9. That gives me 4. I need to add a 3 here, which gives me 6. I bring down this pair, so that becomes 1010. I need to insert a number here to make it a 2-digit number. I mean for 6. So let's take a 62 multiply by 2. That will give me a 124, which is too small. Let's take a 65, which will be a 5, 325. Near, but let's try 66. And that will give me a 396, which is pretty close to 410. So let's take a 6 here and a 6 here, which is 396, which gives me a 14 after subtraction. I need to add the 6. We add only the number which is inserted in the ones place. So this turns out to be a 72. Now I need to bring down this 44 as a pair. Before that, shift the decimal place. Now I'll be inserting a number next to 72 to make a 3-digit number. So I'll be going with a simple one, that is 2. So it's a 4, and 144. So I get my number. So it's 2 and 2 here, which is 144. Subtraction gives me 0. Thus the answer for square root of 1310.44 is 36.2. So you need to be careful when you are finding the square root of decimals, particularly the pairing process. When you're pairing the whole part, you have to pair from right to left. That is, you start from ones place. And when you're pairing the decimal part, you have to start from left to right. That is, from 1/10 place. Hope this video is helpful. Thank you. Have a nice day.